Hello. I was right on time according to StreamYards. Gotta refresh YouTube. It says one waiting. There we go. Hello, everybody. And now it's Wheel of Death. Gotta love YouTube. Welcome, everybody. We'll just hang out for a few minutes and let people trickle in as they do. Let me know who's here. Oh, we had 5, now we're down to 3. Maybe I just need to start right away and let people trickle in while I'm going. I don't know. Yeah, they did. Chloe, quick. Come here. Come here. Come in. Good girl. Good girl. Like my paws? Good coffee. Right on. Well, guess I'm just going to go ahead and get started. I've got a couple people in here that are just lurking, but that's okay. Today we are going to talk about 28 foods to not feed your dog and why, and then a shorter list of foods that are safe to feed your dog and actually can be beneficial to your dog. So I'm going to go ahead and get started. Hey, Donna. So the very first top of the list is alcohol. Do not give your dog alcohol on purpose. It can not only cause intoxication, lack of coordination, weak breathing, and abnormal acidity, but potentially even coma or even death. So we did have a dog who liked to drink little bits of beer, but probably not the best idea. So not sure what you meant, Ken. Thank you, Cindy. Good to see you. Yeah, I'm not sure what you meant by that, Ken. Next on the list, this is in alphabetical order. So apple seeds. The casing of apple seeds is toxic to dogs as they contain a natural chemical that releases cyanide when digested. This is really only an issue of if a large amount is eaten and the seed is chewed up by the dog, causing it to enter its bloodstream. To play it safe, core your apples before you give them to your dogs. That's an easy one. Avocado. Avocados contain persin, which can cause diarrhea, vomiting, and heart congestion. The most dangerous part of an avocado is the pit because it is a choking hazard and it is full of persin. If you think your dog has ingested an avocado pit, call your vet ASAP. If your dog ate a small piece of avocado, that's probably not an issue because the persin isn't in the meat of the avocado. But keep an eye on your dog. Thank you, Donna. Candy, chewing gum, toothpaste, and mouthwash. Not only do all these things a lot of times contain sugar, but if they don't contain sugar, a lot of times they contain xylitol, which can lead to vomiting, loss of coordination, seizures, liver failure, and death. Xylitol is very, very harmful to dogs, and even like one piece of sugarless gum can cause a dog to go into seizures and die. So be very careful about candies, chewing gums, mints, things like that. And some toothpaste and mouthwash contain xylitol as well. Cat food. You might not think this, but cat food contains proteins and fats that target the diet of a cat, not a dog. The protein and fat levels in cat food are too high for your dog and not healthy. Ingesting too much cat food can result in an upset stomach, obesity, and pancreatitis. And pancreatitis in a dog is not fun to deal with. My best friend's dog has it, and that poor little guy gets really sick. It's miserable. Chocolate. Chocolate contains theobromine and caffeine, which speed the heart rate and stimulate the nervous system. Depending on the type of chocolate, amount your dog ingested, and your dog's weight will determine how sick or not sick your dog may become. Ingesting too much theobromine and caffeine in chocolate may result in vomiting, diarrhea, restlessness, increased urination, tremors, elevated heart rate, seizures, and death. And this is a list of most dangerous to least dangerous chocolates in dogs. Cocoa powder is the most dangerous. Unsweetened baker's chocolate, semi-sweet chocolate, dark chocolate, milk chocolate, and then white chocolate is the least dangerous. So, coffee, tea, and other caffeine. Caffeine is extremely dangerous to dogs, and within 1 to 2 hours, your dog could be experiencing mild to severe hyperactivity, restlessness, vomiting, elevated heart rate and blood pressure, tremors, seizures, and death, depending on how much caffeine the dog ingested. Hi, Kleinman, Travis. I don't know why I said your last name first. Hey, Skunk Water. So, caffeine is definitely not a good one for dogs of any kind. Hey, Anthony, you can come up. Cooked bones. When it comes to bones, the danger is that cooked bones can easily splinter when chewed by your dog. Raw, uncooked bones, however, are appropriate and suitable for both your dog's nutrition and teeth. And I know that one is kind of debatable. I've been giving my dog cooked bones for years, never had a problem, but I know people that their dogs have gotten splinters in their mouths because of cooked bones. So when I get a chance, I do uncooked bones as much as possible. Oh, thank you. I was about to do that. Corn on the cob. While small amounts of corn are safe for a dog to ingest, giving your dog an ear of corn can be dangerous. If your dog is determined enough, which let's face it, most dogs are, they will eat the cob and all. The cob can be a choking hazard and can cause intestinal blockage, which can be fatal to your dog. And I know this. I used to give my bigger dogs cobs. Well, we'd eaten them.
Yeah, they always chew down to the center anyway because that's where all the sugar's at.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah.
Fat trimmings. Cooked and uncooked fat trimmings can cause pancreatitis. So if if you do give your dog fat of any kind, make it a small amount. Garlic. Well, garlic can be okay for dogs in tiny amounts, even beneficial for flea treatment. More significant amounts can be risky. Garlic is related to onions, which are toxic for dogs because it kills the dog's red blood cell, causing anemia. Signs may include weakness, vomiting, and trouble breathing. Grapes and raisins. Grapes and raisins can cause kidney failure for dogs. Even a small amount can make a dog very ill. Vomiting is an early symptom followed by depression and low energy. We've heard of dogs dying from only a handful of grapes, so do not feed your pup this potentially toxic food. And raisins are like more concentrated than grapes, so it takes even less amount of raisins to make them sick. Yeah, like Ken said, never give a dog poultry bones. Yep. Hops. An ingredient in beer that can be toxic to your dog. Consumption of hops by your dog can cause vomiting, panting, increased heart rate, fever, and even death. Human vitamins. It isn't recommended to give your dog one of your vitamins or supplements. Human vitamins often contain 100% of the recommended daily amount of various minerals. This could cause a mineral overdose for your dog. The most dangerous vitamin is prenatal vitamins, which have a higher dose of iron and can cause iron toxicity in pets. If your dog ingests a bunch of prenatal vitamins or other vitamins with a high dosage of iron, you should get to your vet immediately. Now, this one might surprise you. Liver. In small amounts, liver can be okay, but avoid feeding too much to your dog. Liver contains quite a bit of vitamin A, which can adversely affect your pup's muscles and bones. Macadamia nuts. Ingesting even small amounts of macadamia nuts can be lethal to your dog. Symptoms include muscle shakes, vomiting, increased temperature, and weak back legs. If your dog ingested chocolate with the macadamia nuts, the symptoms can be worse. You're right, Cindy. Never, ever give a dog people vitamins. Absolutely, because their doggy vitamins, if they need them, have a way smaller concentration of vitamins and minerals. Marijuana. The level of poison depends on how much exposure your dog has. There isn't much information about dogs and marijuana, but from what we can find, these are the common symptoms. Slow response times, dribbling urine, heart rate change, neurological stimulation, hyperactivity, coma, and even death. Now, I know people that swear by it with their dogs, but they don't give their dogs very much. They don't feed it to them. They blow it at them. You know, the dogs relax, whatever, you know. But definitely feeding it to your dog, you know, marijuana brownies or, you know, the edibles, not a good idea because they're dosed way too high for a dog. Milk and dairy products. While small doses aren't going to kill your dog, you could get some smelly farts and some nasty cases of diarrhea. Milk and dairy products can cause digestive problems as well as trigger other food allergies. Hey, Dreams. Onions and chives. No matter what form they're in, dry, raw, cooked, powder, or within other foods, onions are some of the absolute worst foods you could give your pup. They contain disulfides and sulfoxides. Onions are some that can cause anemia and damage red blood cells. Peppers. Bell peppers are okay to feed dogs. Dogs are carnivores and prefer meat to vegetables, but there are some benefits to veggies. For example, green peppers are a low-calorie snack packed with vitamin C and beta-carotene. Be sure to chop the peppers into small pieces because the outer skin can be tough and difficult to chew. Pureeing or steaming peppers makes them easier to consume and digest. As with most human food, don't overdo it because too much could lead to sickness. It might go without saying, but never give your dog a spicy variety such as jalapenos or hot peppers. And I know some people that their dogs love spicy food, love peppers. And if your dog is used to it, just don't overdo it, you know? So if they like them, it's not going to hurt them. It's just some dogs might get the shits or something from it. So persimmons, peach, and plum pits. Pits and seeds from these fruits can cause intestinal issues in dogs. Additionally, peach and plum pits have cyanide, which is poisonous to dogs and people. Raw meat and fish. Raw meat and fish can be contaminated with bacteria, which causes food poisoning. Additionally, some fish can contain a parasite that causes fish disease or salmon poisoning disease. Symptoms include vomiting, fever, and enlarged lymph nodes. Cooked fish is perfectly fine since the cooking process kills the parasites, but be sure to remove all the bones to avoid choking or internal organ risks. Raw meat can be safe to feed to dogs, but only if you know it's uncontaminated and safe for consumption. In fact, raw diets are increasing in popularity for dogs. Rhubarb and tomato leaves. These contain oxalates, which can cause drooling, vomiting, diarrhea, lethargy, weakness, tremors, and bloody urine. So if you have these in your garden and your dog is chewing on them, you might want to put up a fence or do something to keep your dog out of your garden. Salt. Just like salt isn't the healthiest thing for humans, it is even less healthy for dogs. Too much of it can lead to sodium ion poisoning, which may result in vomiting, diarrhea, depression, tremors, increased temperature, seizures, and even death. Yep, Travis, that was at the very top of the list, was apples. Sugar. This applies to any food containing sugar. Hey, Seth. Make sure you check the ingredient label for human foods. Corn syrup, which is a less expensive form of sugar or glucose, is found in just about everything these days. Too much sugar for your pup can lead to dental issues, obesity, and even diabetes. Tobacco. Tobacco contains nicotine, which can be lethal to dogs. Symptoms include vomiting, abnormal heart rate, tremors, and weakness. Tobacco poisoning can present itself within 1 hour of ingestion. Xylitol, we talked about this one earlier. Sugar alcohol found in gum, candies, baked goods, and other sugar substituted items. Xylitol, while causing no apparent harm to humans, is extremely toxic to dogs. Even small amounts can cause low blood sugar, seizures, liver failure, and even death for your pup. Yeast. Yeast, just like yeast rises in bread, it will also expand and rise within your puppy's tummy. Make sure they don't get any. While mild cases will cause gas, lots of farting, and discomfort, too much of it could rupture their stomach and intestines. Yeast, though, is also dangerous because as it ferments and rises, it makes alcohol, which can lead to alcohol poisoning. So that was the list of 28 things to not feed your dog. Most of them I agree with, or mostly agree with. And a smaller list, a few other things to keep out of your dog's reach as well. Old food. If it's old and moldy and you're not going to eat it, don't feed it to your dog. They're not designed to, take on the bacteria and stuff like that of moldy food.
Yeah, they're not garbage disposals.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Leftovers. If you feed your dog leftovers regularly, they won't get a proper diet. If you do give them table scraps, make sure to take out any bones and trim the fat, just to be safe. And human snacks. Chips can contain garlic and onion powder, and cookies may contain raisins, chocolate, or macadamia nuts, etc. Bottom line, there's a reason there's food and treats made especially for dogs. So this is a much shorter list. Safe human foods for dogs. Lean meat. This includes lean meat without bones that have had the excessive fat removed. If feeding chicken and turkey, the fatty skin should be removed. Lean meat includes the white meat from chicken or turkey and provides a tasty treat for your dog as well as a good source of protein. Eggs. Salmonella and biotin deficiency are two things to be cautious of when feeding your dog raw eggs. Most vets will recommend giving your dog a cooked egg over a raw egg. Eggs are an excellent source of protein and have a host of vitamins for your pup. Don't worry about cooking the egg in butter, oil, salt, or pepper, or other additives. Your dog doesn't need those things, and they can be harmful as well. And here's a list of some safe fruits that dogs can enjoy safely. Bananas, apple slices with the seeds removed, strawberries, blueberries, watermelon with the seeds removed, cantaloupe with no seeds, cranberries, mangoes, oranges with no seeds, peaches with the pit taken out, pears with no seeds, pineapples, and raspberries. Vegetables that are safe for dogs to ingest: broccoli, Brussels sprouts, carrots. I know many dogs that love carrots. Hi, gamer. Celery, cucumber, green beans, peas, potatoes only if cooked. Raw potatoes can be very bad for dogs. Spinach and sweet potatoes if cooked. And there is a difference between a yam and a sweet potato. If you eat a raw sweet potato, you won't get sick, but if you eat a raw yam, you could die. So be aware of that.
Yeah.
White rice is a common recommendation for a dog with an upset stomach. Boiled white chicken and white rice are used to help firm up stools, as well as nourish a dog that is having trouble getting nutrition from food as a result of illness. And there is human grade fresh dog food that you can order. They deliver it right to your doorstep like once every couple of days. If you want to check that out, there's a web page that's Pet Plate, and they do human grade dog food. So, and of course, when in doubt, ask a vet. You know, if you're not sure, if you can't remember, there are plenty of lists online that talk about foods that are good and bad. There are things that you can print out to put on your fridge. But when in doubt, call your vet and ask, and they'll be happy to answer your questions. So that is the end of what I had planned. Do you have any questions you want to discuss? Got any disagreements or things you found that your dog really likes that are weird people foods?
I got a question. What about a dog that likes pickles? Is that good or bad for him?
The acid in the pickle juice could be harmful to their stomach if they get too much. So you just want to keep that to a minimum.
Oh, she don't eat it often, but she's weird. It's the only dog I ever had. Most dogs smell vinegar. They're like, I'm out.
Yeah.
But not this goofy one.
Yep.
I mean, I only give her like one or two little chunks, and that's once in a blue. But she'll beg me the whole time I'm sitting here eating a pickle or my wife's eating a pickle. She's begging for it. It's strange because most dogs, they even get a little sniff of vinegar, they're gone. Yeah.
Cindy, with canned veggies, I would definitely look at the sodium or salt content.
Yeah.
Before you feed it to your dog. You can buy like unsalt or no salt veggies that are canned. Mm-hmm. But that would be the main issue for canned veggies would be the sodium or salt content. And actually some, believe it or not, have a high sugar content depending on what they are. So just read the ingredients and, go from there.
Yeah.
And I saw Travis was saying squash is really good for upset tummies in dogs. And yeah, I've used that before. Gamer, canned veg deserves only to be on the shelves of a nuclear shelter.
Yeah. Oh, hey, speaking of that, I did learn though, if you're gonna store canned goods for fallout or whatever you may, do not buy the no salt because they expire a lot faster than the ones that have salt.
Yeah.
Because the sodium preserves it. Yeah.
Yeah, Sydney, if you got low salt and rinsed them really good, that would probably work. You still want to be careful because the salt does soak into the canned veggies. Yeah. But, hey, Jen's Vlogs, welcome.
Yeah, because you never know how long that can's been sitting.
Yeah. And when you do get canned food, you do lose some of the fiber value.
Vitamins. What's that old guy used to say? Dead veggies, dead input. Live veggies, fresh input.
Yeah, I'm sure if you rinsed them really good, they would probably be just fine. Funny gamer. 2 peanuts for walking down the street. One was assaulted. I'm trying to think of weird foods that these guys eat, but they don't really. They're not very adventurous. They don't even like veggies or anything.
Well, I'm convinced when it comes to Marley, like my wife says, if she sees me eat it, she's got to eat it.
Mozart was like that. He would eat anything.
Yeah.
We discovered quite just by accident, we were out at my parents' place butchering venison, and he had a really upset tummy. And Ken said, hey, try giving him a piece of raw venison. It should settle his tummy down. And I'm like, what? But I did it. And he settled right down. And then he discovered that, oh, hey, those things hanging up in the barn have blood dripping off of them. And that tastes pretty good. And then we couldn't keep them out of the barn.
Well, I tell that to people all the time because, I know as most people as humans, when we give meat to dogs, we think we got to cook it and boil it.
Yep.
The thing is, if you think about it, they come from foxes and wolves and coyotes and all that. They don't build a campfire and cook their meat.
Yeah, Cindy, that was one that was not on the list that I was surprised because they talked about macadamia nuts. Pistachios, you have to be very, very careful about. Absolutely. Cauliflower, I've never had a problem giving cauliflower to any of my dogs that'll eat it.
Yeah.
But it doesn't smell like much, so most dogs just kind of, turn their nose up at it. Hey, Dipper.
Or nose it out of the way.
Yeah. But it's not something that, it might make them gassy just like it does a human, but.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had some pistachios recently, and
shut up.
Every time I dropped a shell on the ground, I had to make sure to pick it up because Cody back here would go for it.
Yeah, it's a chew toy. Yeah. Something to crunch up.
Yep. Well, and they were salty too, so and dogs like that salt. So.
Okay, look, you had some pistachios. Quit rubbing it in, all right? I need an ex-wife to bring me some pistachios. Of course, my luck, they'd be laced.
Yep, some dogs absolutely love cauliflower. It just depends on the dog. Mozart used to eat all sorts of vegetables, broccoli and cauliflower and all sorts of stuff. So,
well, that's funny because I got one. He'll eat green beans, and Marley won't touch them with a 10-foot pole.
Yep.
She'll nose them out of the way. Like I've seen her eat a bowl of veggies, and the only thing left in there was the green bean.
Oh, funny.
Until Beanie was like, "Hey, you gonna eat that?"
Yeah. Yep.
The funny thing is, it was green beans. She wouldn't eat it, but if he tried to get it, she'd growl at him. I'm like, "Why are you growling at him? You ain't gonna eat them."
About Michelle Obama's best friend, Kale.
That's one thing I've tried several times because I always thought it was a fluke. And each time I ever eat Kale, it's made me sicker than a dog.
Really?
Yep.
Weird.
Yeah.
I love Kale. I just can't get it around here decently. Every time I go to buy it, it's limp and nasty. And
yeah. Look like it's been on the shelf way too long.
Well, you can't buy it fresh on the shelf here. Move.
Really? Wow.
No, you have to buy it bagged, and it's already half nasty.
Well, yeah, because it's traveled 3 weeks in the back of a truck.
Okay, Cindy's vet said no to kale. I actually had no idea about kale, so
I know it makes me sick. So, and I heard people say, well, you got to pick it at a certain time. So I've tried other people's kale. Just maybe somebody didn't know what they were doing. But no.
Well, Donna, anything pickled, you want to be careful with because of the highest acidity of it. It can hurt a dog's insides if they eat too much of it, and they don't know when to stop if they like that kind of thing. So,
yeah, you just buy her, like I say, you buy a can of it without all the salt and vinegar in it.
Yeah,
but then again, that may be why she likes it, because of the vinegar. She's a strange dog. I mean, I've had dogs, you even cracked a jar of pickles. They ran out of the kitchen. They were like, nope, that's all you. Yeah. Not her. She's like, where's mine?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm talking about you.
Yeah, Gamer, they probably would say no to tin foods just because most tin foods are canned with salt.
Mm-hmm.
So, you and at least here you can buy low or no salt canned goods. So
people that store, be careful of the no salt, because my grandma got sick because she had a can of green beans she had for a long time.
Oh,
and
yeah.
She had the mentality like everybody else. It's canned. It lasts a long time. Not when it has no salt. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, Dreams. Duck poop is like candy for dogs.
Yeah. Cat crap too. Cat crap too.
Oh, yeah. My cat, I used to have a cat, and we lived with my in-laws, and they had a dog. And no matter what we did, we could not keep the dog out of the litter box. We called it Kitty Roca.
Yeah. Yeah. Because he'd be in the corner
in his mouth,
Yeah. That's how I used to catch mine, because he'd be in the corner. You hear that.
Yep.
It's like a Tootsie Roll with Pop Rocks.
Yep, exactly. I used to take Mozart to the park and down by Silver Lake, and they had geese there. And I'd be like, what do you eat? And I'd go over there, and he'd just have goose poop all over his mouth, and it was just so disgusting. I quit taking him to that park just because of that. Because that was all he would do there. He wouldn't run and play on the beach or get in the water or anything. He'd just eat the goose.
You was just bringing them to a buffet.
Exactly.
Dogs do some weird shit. And then want to come lick you in the face.
Yeah, exactly. Ugh. That was like instant bath when we got home.
Mm-hmm.
Totally gross. And I even asked my vet if he was missing some kind of vitamin or mineral deficiency or something. Nope, it just tastes good to him. They'll eat each other's poop for that reason. I'm like, really? Yeah. Glad my dogs don't do that.
Yeah.
But if like a squirrel or a cat or something pees in our yard, Spike will find the spot and roll in it until he smells like it. Mozart used to do that too. I'd give Mozart a bath, let him outside, and he'd come in 20 minutes later smelling like cat piss. I was like, really?
Oh, that's Beanie. You can bathe and scrub him, have him smelling good, and he'd go outside and find the only dead frog in the yard that's been there for 2 weeks. And just get in it and just do that. Yeah. And come in the house and you can't. I'm like, no, you back in the tub.
Oh, Dreams, I would have been torturing too. Anything that could make somebody actually green, I'd use that against them.
Yeah. Oh, you ought to see certain dogs on a wharf where seagulls have been fucking crapping all over the place.
Yeah.
It looks like a kid licking on a lollipop.
Yeah.
We do that, we'd be dead. Or have every known disease that's floating around.
Yeah.
Anybody out for some swine flu?
Yeah, Ken says dogs think humans are weird. They can't believe you're going to leave those yummy kitty Snickers.
Yeah. Yeah. You ain't gonna eat that Tootsie Roll with the Pop Rocks? Come on, man.
Funny dreams.
He glared at me.
Strawberries. I can look it up.
Yeah, I don't know about strawberries.
I've never heard, but let me look it up.
You want to bite me? Look what I found today.
What is that?
It's the hot ones.
The hot ones.
Yeah, here. Take a bite. You'll find out.
Hmm.
It's a small peak. Takes a little while for it, but it'll kick in.
It starts creeping.
Yeah, it creeps. Yeah.
Well, according to the American Kennel Club,
Good flavor.
we can feed them to our dogs. However, you should not feed them canned strawberries or strawberries in syrup, which is probably because of the sugar content. Because anytime they can or put strawberries in sugar, it's triple the sugar content at least.
Making me want to choke.
Ooh, fox poo. I can imagine that was stinky.
Something about jalapenos.
I'm being an ass. I gave him a piece of sausage. Here, try this. It's Tijuana Mama. Yeah.
It's not.
Oh
that
yeah,
hot.
Cindy, I've had dogs eat fresh strawberries, and yeah, it's pretty much. I think that's what the AKC is saying is, as long as they're fresh, they're fine.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I know that there's a lot more foods out there that I feed to my dogs that, it's kind of a common sense thing beyond the list that I read,
Well, my vet told me pretty much anything that's processed or in a box, don't give it to your dog.
Yeah.
He says barely edible for you. Definitely don't give it to your dog.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hot peppers, Donna, we kind of talked about a little bit. I think that depends on the dog. If the dog is used to them, like Ken was saying, he had a dog that he used to eat jalapenos with all the time.
Yeah.
If the dog can handle them, just do it, in moderation. It's like kind of with everything, because you don't want the dog getting bad indigestion or, nasty farts or bad diarrhea from the pepper. So yeah, dreams. We kind of covered marijuana too, more on the edible side of it, but 20 jalapeno bombers. I can't even eat one.
Yeah, they creep up on her. They got a good flavor though. Go to Beck and say hello.
Yeah, bell peppers are okay, Cindy. They recommend cutting them up into smaller pieces because the skins can be pretty tough, but I don't know, my dogs can eat bone, so I don't think a pepper skin is going to deter them too much. Yeah, dreams. I don't think it's cool when people do that and get their dog all messed up. But I know people that, do like 1 or 2 puffs to their dog, and it's to help their dog because their dog is in pain or something like that, with dogs that are much older or have, like hip problems or something like that.
Arthritis.
Arthritis.
Yep.
I'll be honest, I had a dog that would come to me and literally get right in my face and ask for it. And I'd give 1 or 2 puffs, and he'd go and lay down and take a little nap and then go outside and run around like he was 10 years younger.
Yeah.
And so, but I only did it when he would get right in my face, and he had a way that he would ask for it. Yeah, like Ken said, dogs with cancer. Hey, Dave, welcome.
Yeah, because they give you that certain cold stare, like.
Oh, he would get right up in my face and lick my face as I was exhaling. That was a pretty obvious, I want this.
Yeah.
Yep, baby do would do that.
That was his way of saying puff, puff, pass.
Exactly. Yeah, I've seen teenagers do it on, or people that just think it's funny to get their dog stoned. And no, that's.
Yeah. I'll get them drunk.
Yeah. I saw some moron feed his dog an entire edible brownie. And I was just like, number 1, chocolate. And number 2, you don't know the dosage of that. And he filmed his dog afterwards, like an hour afterwards. And this was not a blind dog, but it was running around the house, running into stuff because it was so fucked up. I was like, not impressed, dude.
Let's see. I like to take owners like that and catch them, pump them full of LSD and angel dust, strip them naked and put them in the middle of Las Vegas and let them run around like that.
Yeah, see how you like it, buddy.
Yeah, and we'll film you.
No, Cindy. Generally, even if a dog were to eat a whole bunch of it, they're not going to die. They're just going to get really messed up and then sleep it off. It's going to be really disorienting and confusing for the dog. They may throw up a lot, but it's not lethal. It's just really not mentally healthy for them.
Every dog's different, because I used to have a dog. If you left a pack of cigarettes laying down, he'd eat 4 or 5 of them.
Yeah. Well, and like cigarettes, if you have cats, feed them cigarettes, like sprinkle the tobacco in their food, and it's a way of warming them naturally. Yeah,
flushes the worms. What was it? Pinworms or hookworms or whatever the hell it was.
I'm not sure. No, Cindy, no, the dog didn't die. I forgot about the chocolate part. No, even with the chocolate, it was a larger dog, but it did get really messed up. I'm not sure if the guy had to deal with a bunch of
the thing with chocolate, you got to think it as it's not saying that every dog that eats it will die. It's the fact that it's kind of like kids. You don't know if they're allergic to peanuts until they try one and swell the hell up. Yeah.
And a lot of times with chocolate, it depends on if they just put milk chocolate in there, that's like a lot lower on the list than like if they used baker's chocolate to make the brownies.
Right.
That's much more concentrated. And like if Spike were to eat it, it very well could kill him because he's, a 12 to 14 pound dog. But say,
Chloe.
Chloe's add another 10 pounds on that. And then you might not have as many problems. Or I was going to say, like, my best friend has big 50-pound dogs, and a 50-pound dog can eat much more chocolate and not have the effect. So it depends on the type of chocolate. It depends on.
They just basically tell you across the board chocolate's bad for them because they don't want you taking the chance to find out if they're allergic to it or not.
Yeah. And some dogs are just more sensitive to chocolate than other dogs. You just don't want to take the risk, really. So
I've been guilty of it. I had a dog she would about gnaw your elbow off for your Reese's Pieces.
Oh, geez.
Because it was chocolate and peanut butter.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I used to have people, oh, you're going to kill her, and I'm going to kill her. And she lived to be 16.
Yeah.
And ate Reese's on a weekly basis. So if I didn't bring her, like on Fridays when I come home on Friday, if I didn't have a small bag of Reese's peanut butter, my name was Mud. Yeah. I used to buy the little snack pack, you know what I'm talking about? Little, I didn't want to get her a full bag. I got one of them little Halloween snack pack size ones.
Yeah. I know that, you know, if you have a dog that likes chocolate, but you don't want to give it chocolate, you can do carob.
Yeah.
And carob is not gonna, it's got sugar in it, but it's not gonna, it doesn't have the caffeine and the things that will speed up the dog's heart rate and all that kind of stuff.
Right.
Yeah, Ken, when he married Tanya, they left their wedding cake out on the counter, and the dog ate the entire sheet cake in about 3 minutes.
Yeah, I would have too. Yeah, bakers hated me. You know, you put a pie up to cool, I was going to eat it before it cooled. Okay.
Yes, Cindy, you can feed your dogs carob, small amounts because it's got a lot of sugar in it. But you know, if you've got a dog that really likes chocolate, you can give it carob, and it's got the same basic flavor as chocolate. So
yeah, but you know, it always get me about chocolate, even the dark chocolate. You can have dark chocolate around, a dog will sniff the crap out of it, dying to want it, not knowing that it may be the last time he eats it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Exactly.
The only reason I allowed my dog that ate the Reese's peanut butter cup because I had a bag of them sitting next to me when I was playing the game. In fact, I was playing the first Resident Evil when it came out on PS2. And then I got up to go do something. I come back and she was just, you know, in a big pile. You can see where she's sticking her nose in the bag. And I watched her for the next 2 days. She did all right. And I was like, well, you know, every once in a while, like I said, I'd buy a little snack pack one and throw her 1 or 2. You know, that pack would last 2 weeks, you know. Yeah. I didn't let her eat the whole pack, you know.
Yeah.
Just in case it was bad for her. But she never had any problem.
Yep.
And every Friday when I come home, she was usually any other day she'd stay where she's at. But Friday when I come home, she was at the door because she knew I was coming in with a bag of Reese's Pieces. Yeah.
Yep. Nice, gamer.
And just to let you know, she was a Chinese pug. So.
Oh wow.
You know how small they are.
Yeah.
And when they stick their head in the bag, you know, because they don't have a long snout, so they got to rip the bag into it to get their head.
There's some ramen going off here.
All right. I'm sitting here sweating already.
Yeah, you want to be careful with that, Cindy. Especially if he's going for your hiding places.
Yeah. It blinds the camera.
Your hiding places are up really high, and you might want to think about substituting some carob. That might get him off looking for your chocolate.
Yeah. I turn that light off because it blinds the camera.
Yeah, gamer, that's not really appropriate for this chat. Just saying. Considering I have people from Facebook that come over and specifically watch this chat.
Yeah.
No, but save the other stuff for the next chat when I don't care. You've got about 10 minutes before you can be inappropriate.
Let it go. Yeah. This is not the let it go chat. This is the dog chat. Yeah.
Yep, Cindy, pugs have no manners unless they're really, really trained really well.
Hey. Don't you talk to Delilah like that. She was a sweet little pooch. But yeah, you're all right. They have no manners.
Hey, proud mom, welcome.
especially mine. I described her as the kid that didn't know what no meant, and she was hyper and artistic at the same time. Okay,
Yep.
that was her.
Yep.
Yeah. You tell her no, she would stop, and it's like 2 seconds. Her brain would reset, and she'd forget you just said no.
Yep. Travis, my Mozart used to love carrots, but he did not like spinach. And if I made cooked carrots and spinach together, he would somehow scrape the spinach off of the carrots and spit it out. And he'd have a little pile of spinach in his bowl, and all the carrots would be gone. So, being blinded here.
Yeah. All right. Let's try this out. See if it works better mowing.
What's that?
Oh, I got my new little Wi-Fi deal from Wish today.
Oh, okay.
Hey, it only took a week to get here.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Did Donna show you what showed up on my Facebook feed from Wish today?
No, not yet.
You'll have to ask her to show you. I sent it to her.
Okay. All right. I just got home a little bit before I realized you was on.
Ah.
Been running the roads all morning. I'm here in a little bit. I'm going to have to run anyway. I got to go out to the land before it gets dark.
Cindy, one of the things that I do when I'm eating and my dogs are staring at me because they think they're going to get something is I'll look right at them and I say, mine. And usually if I do that, they understand with my tone of voice and they just look away and they stay looking away until I'm done eating. Or if I look away from them, then they'll look at me and then look back, trying not to get caught, but it stops the staring. Or if they really are being naughty and, staring at me, I'll literally get up and go into another room, or I'll send them into the other room while I eat, or I'll cover them up with a blanket so they can't see me, something like that.
Yeah. Oh no, mine's pretty much, they don't stare at me or beg me or even come around, because for the longest time I'd hold a knife up to them and say, hey, I can dig a 6-foot hole the size of the shovel blade, okay?
Yep. Yeah. Hey, Awesome Epic. Proud Mom has her. She says, look away, and they do, and the begging stops immediately. And, it's not so much about the words you choose. It's about your tone and your energy.
Yeah.
Calm and assertive, and just.
Well, I tell everybody, majority of the time you work on a command for a dog, it's attitude, period. You got to show them you mean business. Yeah.
Cindy, I don't know if your dogs have like a bed or a spot that they go to, but if they're doing that, if they're begging or whatever, and they're not listening, if you tell them mine or, look away or whatever you choose,
yeah,
tell them to go to their bed. If they haven't learned that one's an easy one. Just tell them bed, and then just walk them to their bed. Use your body to lead them to their bed, and then go back and sit down and eat. And when they try to get up, just go, and they'll stop, because that noise will stop a dog generally from, and they'll kind of go, what? And you tell them lay down, and or tell them bed again, or whatever command you want to use. And like Dream says, be consistent every single time. Yep. And you might think it's hard to retrain 5 years of them being spoiled, but it's not. It will literally take you a week or less if you do it every time. Yeah. Teach them where their bed is, and that's where you expect them to go when you're eating, and they will just start to do it. So, but claim the food, tell them mine. And Travis says the other thing that works is put your hand up in their face. Now, some dogs will just lick your hand, like mine, because they think there's food on it.
Yeah.
Other dogs take that as a get out of my space gesture. So that one kind of depends on your dog and the way that they've been trained. So, but it is definitely a rude thing for a dog to sit and stare at you while you're eating. So,
No, thank you. I've had it bad. Yeah. Well, that's why I've always kennel trained mine, because I can actually, like her, I can tell her, go get her, go to your house. I said, go to your bed. And she, oh, I'm a turd sometimes. So. You back?
I just got the death.
Yeah. Yeah, I seen that. He froze up. Good old internet. Gotta love it.
There we go.
Yeah.
Not if you put lemon on your hand, Travis says. Haven't tried that.
Yeah. Well, I used to put vinegar on mine, but until this weird one come along.
Yeah.
And she's like, oh, something to eat.
Cindy, that's Marley.
Yeah. That Marley. Crazy girl Marley.
Well, I think I'm going to go ahead and shut this down. We've kind of covered what I intended to cover, plus a few questions, and it's been a good chat. Just about an hour long, so it's nice and watchable. I'm going to go make myself a sloshy and then come back and start up just a BS stream for a couple hours until Ken goes live at 6. So thank you everybody for coming and hanging out and participating.
Yeah, I got to swap my anyway. All right, we'll see you later.
We'll see you guys all later. I'll be back on in a couple minutes. Bye-bye.